I mean, my mission is to build a world with better bosses. That's it. That's 100% it. That's what I do. What I do. That's why I write books. That's why I run my podcast. It's to do that thing. It's to give back after 3 decades of doing this and learning all these and gaining all these experiences to sort of give back. And I'm getting an opportunity to do that, and I absolutely love it. That my audience is getting bigger. And I operated in darkness for a long time, and now my audience is there, and my skills are there, and it's great. Like I I wasn't ready for the audience in the beginning. I am ready now.
Yeah.
So when you're struggling and you're working on something, you're like, oh, nobody cares, nobody's listening. It's like, well, maybe you need to develop a few skills before someone's going to listen.
Yeah.
Maybe it's okay that no one's hearing your message yet. But if you keep practicing, you're going to get better at your craft, and then you're gonna find your voice. It took me a while to find my voice as a writer. It took me a while to find my voice as a podcaster. But once you find your voice, then okay, and then people are like, "Oh, we love you." You're like, "Yeah, but you don't know I've been doing this." I was just watching. This is gonna age me. I was watching the story of early Van Halen. Van Halen is my favorite band, right? I grew up with Van Halen. To me, 1978 to 84, Van Halen, best band ever existed in the history of Earth. Okay, watching this morning or this afternoon on the treadmill, I'm watching the story of early Van Halen. They played nonstop for years at parties, local parties, clubs, just the worst venues. And they learned their craft when nobody was noticing. They practiced their craft. And then until a guy named Gene Simmons from Kiss happened to just see them one day, like, holy cow, these guys are amazing, right? They practiced their craft in darkness until they were ready to come out of that darkness. And they were ready. And of course, they blew up from there. But my point is that that's that story. You just get better and better. The Beatles, the story of the Beatles are the same thing. They went over to Germany, and they played in bars until they played every day for 6 hours a day, and they built a connection, and they built a sound. They found their voice. They came back to England and just blew up, right? But they had done the work. They had the practice when nobody was listening.